Attention, attention, attention. This is the Townet A of the day. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay. Anyone else want to check in? Time to post online. Let's see if anyone wants to join. This is the Townet A of the day. Come in, come in, come in. Hello, hello, hello. Anyone home? Nobody answer the phone.
You don't need nobody else. It's just high on yourself.
Hey, one more last call. This is the Townet A of the day. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign.
Ticket number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
One more call.
Ticket number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Okay, you know what? It feels like, when I'm doing the call out, it feels like the adult trying to get the babies to eat lunch. And they're like, oh, come on, lunch ready. Anyone is hungry? And you keep screaming for the whole 10 minutes until they come over. And eventually they come in one by one. That is a very tiring job, you know. So, yeah, next time, come in earlier so I don't have to do that. Anyone else? One last call. Okay, then. Let's quickly do a warm up round and see if there's anyone coming in later before the actual meat of the lesson begin. So, what's new? Well, today It's also a busy day for me. Have not stopped working. Um, got some videos out, right? And YouTube video teaching people to do div without being a disciple, and to see if we can get some eyeballs. Um, and then we are also trying to get people to be more aware of the Ghost Month, the Fu and the 4v5H and all that. So if you have not yet learned and do the 4v5H for today, you better do it right now. It's very easy, right? You know how to draw the symbol. The spell is very much alike with the hard spell B. So you use the hard spell B to draw a big god out, and you do the symbol in the air as you say the spell, and then execute, right? So you're telling the god to protect you, to give you protection. Why not, right? Even you're not going outside, you can still do it for yourself once in the morning, once at night, just to practice. And then, like you do it for real, but you also practice at the same time. So when you go out the door, it is very automatic that you can do it quickly, right? And don't forget, you can also do that and pass it on to other people, even by distance. So, yeah, what have you been up to? And let's do a warm-up round so everyone get a chance to talk. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, that Celestial Medic book, I sent it to the ex-disciple who was a Chinese doctor. He finished it. He was like so high. He finished the whole book in one night, like my one night. So he was impressed with it because he said, wow, it put the picture together better for me. Because right now, a lot of the Chinese doctor is still confused about the yum yang, yin and yang, and they are debating about like what is considered this, what considered that, and they don't have a clue. And so that file really puts it together for him. So yeah, he said a lot of the stuff look like the Chinese medicine things, but it's actually really different when you look into it because the inside is very different. So anyway, let's move on to number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Hey.
Oh, all right. King at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. What have I been up to? Okay. Celestial Medic book, the Butterfly Sword video, the chanting for the 8 Immortals, 3 JG, 3L, and the other chanting for the next upcoming ceremony, the 4V5H sealing, the 4V5H sealing I haven't gotten to yet. I've just glanced at it. The food chart, getting that done, the div in the morning, checking the house, checking myself. And then using, I haven't gotten mastery over the grid, the thing that looks like the goal. I haven't got mastery over that yet. I'm waiting for my other things to come in for the domino, the thing that's coming. So I'm waiting for that to come in. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Is the chanting is not as easy as I thought it would be. But it is coming. I'm just making really good, trying to get good notes so I know where to make the inflections. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah. And yeah. What I'm planning on doing is the food tonight. So I'll do the food tonight. Yeah. TN number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay, the Celestial Medic book. How far have you gotten with that? Back to you.
I got like halfway through. I fell asleep last night. I was reading it, and I got caught up reading it, and I was like, "Oh, whoa! I better go to sleep. My eyes are closing, And just about the time when I was like, oh, I'm about to go straight to sleep, let me put this down. I got halfway through the book, but it was very intriguing. I wanted to keep reading, but my body had other plans. Yeah.
Okay, halfway. That's not bad. It's actually a lot of words. So yeah. Team yacht number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I would like to greet everybody in the net and Sojon Kijang. On my side, I think I read only the summary, the book summary that you did posted earlier before this one. I didn't go through the book, the draft. The one you said it's a draft. You said that one is a draft, so I didn't go through it. It was too long, so I haven't gotten into it. And today I was just busy with learning about the 9-star theory explanation, so that I can be able to interpret my div, because every time when I div, I'm struggling to get the answer. But I saw the explanation. I was obviously I was over the phone with Sheng earlier before I came back home. He was video calling me, explaining the 9-star theory and and how to interpret the divs and stuff. So it was I did understand it clearly, but I haven't gone through the stuff that he has sent me yet. So I still need some time to do that. Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Back to you.
Okay, that's good to know. You're getting extra help to further strengthen your knowledge on the div. You know what? The medical system actually blends in with everything very well. So if you understand the div, that after they say, oh, you're a problem, and then you go on and div more about the policies, right? The D1 to the D9, the policies around, if they have problems, you can actually see which organ or which part is having issue. It relates. So if you're diving about yourself or the house, you can kind of know what's going on. Anyway, I'll talk more about it. Team yacht number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf.
Team yacht number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Good morning, Sidran and everybody. I probably should be asleep now, but I turned on my Zello after I saw your message to Lei Sejong about how he shouldn't be on busy mode, and so I thought, oh, mine's off, so I turned it on. So normally I don't hear the call out, because normally I get up at around wake up around 6 and turn it on ready for the Zello to start. Anyway, so I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't able to sleep. So I might, if I start feeling tired, let myself get back to bed. But at the moment, it's good. I made a point of watching your videos and making some posts. A post in the Tin Yacht channel, trying to show them and model the 507 method, or just trying to encourage and getting some conversation going in the Tin Yacht channel. But it's not really much. It's not easy to get them to say anything or do anything. So I know how you feel, Cedron. It must be frustrating when your students are yeah, not giving you back in that sense. So I'm trying to step up more in that department. I was just earlier. I was watching the Eastern Heretic Western Venom series. There's a YouTube video that has the full episode, all the episodes in one. So I was really enjoying that. It's pretty good quality series. Yeah, that's me. Back to TNet number 4, Sarah Wealth. Oh, and I've read about half of the CM book. Back to you.
Okay. For everyone, if you're sleeping, you can choose to turn the channel, the TNet channel, to turn it off. When you turn that off, you won't hear anything from it, but you keep the command center open, right? So the command center is like the emergency channel. In case of like anything really emergency, we'll call there. So you can still hear emergency call, but you will not hear the normal chat or the net and things like that. Okay, so that's something you can do. When you wake up, you turn on all the channels again and you make yourself available. I would say, like, usually when I sleep, I always have the talkie on all channels, and because no one uses the TNet channel anyway. But if I'm like Seung, I know that there will be a net. I will just turn off the TNet channel. So in case of anything, people can still reach you by emergency line. And also, I will never rely on the phone for cello emergency communication, because it has the tendency of like, suddenly it will hibernate your app or maybe put your app on busy or whatever shit. And surprises just happen. Even you do your best, you have no problem. The app or the phone, it just, maybe it updated or whatever, and then, it just doesn't work. And I have tried many times, very frustrated. So for emergency, I have my talkies with the Zello, and it's never changing. It's always working. Once you set it, it's always work. So, and talkie, it's a dedicated machine, right? So make you much more focused. At home, I seldom use my phone for Zello. I usually use the talkie, and I have two. So at night, I rely on the bigger one, and during the day, I use the smaller one. It's like you can't replace it. It's just the best way. Anyway, anyone else? Oh no, actually, we move on. TNet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
TNet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sajran Gijan. Good day to my seniors and my juniors. And my apologies, Sajran, for coming in late today. I got caught up in a call. And I went through all the blog posts, especially the Ghost Month. And the only one I haven't gotten to just yet is the what happens after that. But everything else I was able to go through last night. And I was also, before I go on to my next thing, for the 4v5h, which one do you think we should do every day, even if it's just for practice? The big spell or the protection spell? I know there are like 4 different spells in there, and they all have different purposes. I did like the fact that we can put the 4v5h on our hands and stamp it on the back of people to give them some form of protection, and they would be time limited, so that's pretty cool. And as for the book, I actually started reading the book last night, and I just couldn't yesterday evening going into last night, and I was kind of going through the book pretty quickly, but then I was like, oh wait, crap, this is a lot of condensed information, so let me start over. So I started over, and I started to take notes, because I just felt like, oh crap, like this is like really, really good information to just really sink into you. And I felt like I don't just want it to take time to sink into me. I wanted to just write down all of the notes and the short points so I could have it there, so I could go through it, because it's really, really good building blocks to understand the elements and how the Nine-Star theory relates to stuff, but mainly the elements and how they relate to your celestial organs. It was just really, really captivating, and I have reached like, well, I'm moving pretty slow because I'm taking notes and kind of reading the page like 2, 3 times before I go on to the next page. So I reached like, I think like 18 or 19 or maybe page 20. I have like a bookmark on it on my computer. And yeah, what's the next thing? Oh, the ground official script. I was going through the script as well yesterday. Oh wait, before I move on to that side one, I kind of jumping ahead. The book was so captivating for me that I went to bed. Well, I read it before I went to bed, and I had to like go to bed. But the first thing I did, I just jumped up and I went back to my computer to continue reading it because I felt it was so good, and I'm really happy about it. I can't wait to get additional information added to it. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to say, because usually when I get up in the morning, I have like a set routine. But the book, like, it was on my mind going to bed and then waking up first, and then popped into my head. And Ground Altar, I want to know about the Ground Altar salvation script, because we need to be chanting that. I went through the book, the PDF book that you gave us. It have a lot of scripts, well, a lot of chanting in there. And I want to know which scripts or which things that we need to be chanting, starting full today, hopefully with the God would allow me. I try not to go OT. I have a couple other points, so I will just take my another turn coming back around. Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
For the 4V5H, I repeat it many times. You only need one, which is the big spell. Okay, it sounds like the Husky as well. Very simple. So you only need that one, and you change the way you end the spell for the different purposes. Okay, so if you're doing it for like just protection, then you're seeing being whole keep you doing, right? If you're like giving it, to someone else, like a jacket or whatever, right? Like you're authorizing that tool to have the power to protect, right? Then you add the cha at the end. If it's like a sealing a door, then you add the word feng at the end. If you are trapping the evil and busting it, then you add po at the end. So it's the same big spell that contains all the other one. Okay. So since you're new to this magic, you focus on just that spell. Okay. Just that one. It's an easy shortcut created for all the other ones. But it is a good idea to read through the other ones, like the spell, once, like every day. So you kind of get your mouth to, be familiar with it, and that will be good. But you don't need to memorize those things. You memorize the big spell so you can use it all the time. The book, everyone is kind of fast. I was kind of impressed. So yeah, it is a lot of information. I suggest like Seung SXG, right? As you read, you can also write your blog posts about like what you learn, what you feel, and like don't just open a blog post and start teaching people, because like you want the people to come in, read your post, and they want to like feel, oh, this lineage is so good, this master is so good, and then like that builds the image for us, right? So your goal is not to teach them. They come in and learn. Your goal is to bring them an impression of like, wow, this place is good. The source is legit. That will help us build the public image. Okay. So anyone else want to check in before we start? Anyone else want to check in? Come in now. Whew. Okay, well, we'll begin. Today, I plan to go back to the basics, and let's talk about the basics of the 5 organs and what they are, because I'm sure as we talk more and more, you will kind of incline your thoughts toward like, oh yeah, the organ is really that thing. Okay, so it's not. Okay, so we always say the 5 element in this order: gold, water, wood, fire, earth. Okay, so here is a shortcut to remember. You start with gold, which is the money, right? Like you start with a gold ingot, like those a block of gold, something like that. Okay, the gold, gold next is water, because that gold melt. Okay, the gold melt into liquid. Okay, so it's just a shortcut, right? So water is like they feed the wood. So water, and then you have wood. You use wood to give birth to fire, make fire, and then the fire burns and it turns to like ashes, fall back down to the ground like soil, right? So that's earth. Okay. The norm out there in Google and GPT, they like to say metal instead of gold, but it's wrong. Okay, it's gold, not metal. Okay, gold, water, wood, fire, earth. So the first thing is we talk about our organ. What does it represent? Like, what is that organ? What does it do? When we say the gold lung, your lungs, what does it do? What is the lung? The lung is like the 5 organs. They store up something. They are like storages of resources. So the lung is responsible for getting the essence from the Yun Sun, and it converts it into the negative soul chi. So your negative chi, your yam he, is in the lung, right? So it stores up that in the lung. The water kidney is when the ghost altar has chi, right? It's pushing it down to us, the local, moving it down to our on top of our local 168 body. So it's from D2 to D3 phase, and it gives us that D3 resources. So the kidney to like, when you ask for ideas, these are like the ideas bubbles and your senses, right? And then you have the wood liver. What does it do? The liver is when your local energy body go up and pick up those D3 bubbles and then turn them into D4 thoughts. So the liver contains the good stuff inside the top section of your energy body. It's now yours. It's now inside you at the top. And then you have the hot fire, which is when the D4 enter the D5 into the hot, and it burns. Now in here, the negative chi becomes hot. It becomes neutral chi. And then you have the earth spleen, which is after the hot, right? The chi goes down to your belly area and they get contained in the bottom. So this is like the D5 to D6 phase. And now this container will build up the D7 power, which is your positive soul. So the spleen stores up those power that give power to the positive soul, which is actually your positive soul chi, right? So this 5 organ is really about. However, we usually say, oh, it's not about the physical organ, right? But if your 5 organs here is having issue, for example, the water, okay, your ghost altar is not pushing things down to the local. Well, that's the kidney, right? So if you have issue here, eventually your physical kidney will also show up the symptoms, and then you finally see it when you go to the doctor and get a scan. They will say, oh, your kidney is having issue. That is because the kidney that we talk about already had issue long time ago. So if you can fix the problem before it comes to the D8 side, you won't have issue in the D8 side. Okay, let's move on. TJ number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. If I'm following along with the progression, when so for example, in our last example, if the kidney is having issues and we want to head that off before it shows up here physically, then it seems to make sense that we would do things to strengthen the kidney, or would we strengthen the organs around the kidney? And we know that there's 2 parts of it. So which part or both parts do we address? And the kidney, it seems, would be the most vulnerable in the body, and can be induced by, affected by our diet and by behaviors as well. So I'm curious as to what we could do to head that off before it shows up. Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay. Well, we always say your body is a map of the three realms. Your head is the Yun Sun, which is a circle, right? Your ghost altar is like the middle section, and then your local goes down through the 2 legs, and it goes down to the local, right? So when you always use your legs a lot, then basically that's the ghost leg, which is the kidney. Like you're pushing things from the waist level and down the ghost leg. That's the kidney. If you overuse your leg, like walking, bicycle riding and all that, you use the leg all the time, the leg wears out and the leg feels tired, the leg feels stressed, right? Hey, what does it mean? You're using up the power of the kidney, the resources, right? So you think about them as a person, okay? If Mr. Kidney is running out of money, where does it take money from to replenish it? The lungs, right? The one before it. So it starts to juice up your lung. So if your kidney is being used, like you're juicing up the kidney, right? Walking and all that. So you're pumping out the kidney all the time. Your lung has to supply more and more and more to it. So your kidney get worn out, and it weakens the lung qi as well. So your mental clarity is going to have issue. Now, because the kidney is poor, it cannot give money to its lower, right? So the liver is having what we call deficiency, which means like it's not getting paid. So your liver is going to be even more poor. Right? So you look at this like it has an upper and lower effect. It's like you and your kids and your boss at work, right? So if you are being juiced up and tired and all that, right? Like you are poor, you want to get money from your boss above. But because if your account is like so low, you will give less to your below. And so the below is going to be ewing because they are not being paid properly. So yeah, when your liver is having issue, things related to the liver, such as the blood, your eyes, the vision is all going to be affected. And that's why all these things. So what happened, like what should we do when the kidney is having issue? Well, first of all, you have to stop what you're doing that is harming it. And then you ask the top section to supply it and you strengthen the top section. So you give more good stuff to the lung, and then you tell the lung to provide more to the kidney, and eventually the problem will be resolved. Anyway, let's move on first. Team yacht number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India. According to what I'm hearing, like every system supports the each other. My interest is what are the food that we can consume that are related to those organs that can support them. And then obviously I believe in traditional Chinese medicine. Maybe there are medicine that we can consume or put on our body just to support those systems. Is that possible, or is it's just that my thoughts are get? Can I just get a clarification? Tenet number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
That is the problem with the translation all the time. All the people are mistaken and misled by this false concept of like there are medicine and herbs, right, that actually support your kidney. No, it doesn't. Okay, how you should ask, how did that medicine support the kidney? So there's one medicine, a pill. It's called 金匱神氣丸. Okay, 金 is gold, right? 匱is like a drawer. 神氣, the kidney chi. So people think that this thing support your kidney. They eat it and like, oh yeah, it's a supplement. It's gonna like help my kidney. How does it help your kidney? It goes into the gold drawers to draw power out of the lung and then support the kidney. So it's not that pill that is supporting you. It's your own lung chi being pulled out and put into the kidney so that your kidney will get the resources. It's helping you to do that. All the herbs, all the medicine, all the whatever leaves and flowers, it's about teaching your own system to move. You can do the same with food. It doesn't need to be the herb, the bark, and the medicine. Why did they choose to use that? It's because people are poor. Back in the days in China, everyone is very poor and they might not have meat to eat for the whole year. You're sick, you can die, or you can eat the tree bark or the grass or whatever. Choose something. Okay, we choose the cheap stuff. So they will pick something cheap that will actually do the job too. So it becomes something from the plant. If you tell them, oh yeah, just eat more chicken, cook it like this. Wow, that's too fancy. We won't even be able to do that once a year. That's how it is. So the false concept that people have is like, yeah, the herb, the flower, the grass, they're going to have like superpower. It support me. No, it doesn't support you. That's a wrong information. There is no medicine that will give the exact thing that you lack and put it in there. Like there's nothing that you can eat which will actually put stuff into it. What actually gives birth to these things, going back to the top, the first station, right, is the Yun Shen. The Yun Shen give to the lung and then to the kidney and so on, right? If you want to have more of whatever else later, the only way is to put things into Yun Shen. You don't put things back to the Yun Shen, no one can help you. So let's move on to the next one. Team unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Team unit number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. One more call. Team unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Satchwan, you mentioned earlier that we can use the divine div to really check up on the health of each of the celestial organs. I really wanted to know more about that instead of waiting for stuff to manifest, because I'm pretty sure that the div itself could probably give us a heads up of which organ is what is the status of which organ each day, because I would assume that based on whatever resources we get, it would all 5 of the different organs would be at a different state each day, and have a different what is the word I'm looking for, condition, regardless of whatever health issues you may be facing. The organs would be at a different state each day based on the resources you receive. How would we use how would we use the divine divination Devin tool that you taught us to understand that? Back to you, unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Very simple. So, okay. Look, the D1 block, right? The D1, D2, D3 goes all the way around and back to D9, right? So D1 is obviously going into D2, so that's the lung qi. The D2 go to D3, the transition is the kidney. So your D3 to D4, right, that's the liver. D4 to D5, that's the heart. D5 to D6 is the spleen. D6 to D7, going back up to the gold element, but in post heaven, that will be your big intestine. And then to D8, it will be the bladder. Yeah, it's called a bladder. Yeah, bladder. Right? And then you go on just counting, right? You have the gallbladder, small intestine, and the stomach. And at the end, you have the samjiu, which is going back up. So basically, like, you just count like that, and in order, you'll be able to see, like, where things are. The organs is kind of like a transition, because your lung is like the essence going into the ghost altar and converted into chi. So the lung is kind of like between the 1 and 2 block. Okay, or you can say it's at the 2 block, but it's kind of like in between, because the lung chi, right, like at the end result, it is at the 2, but it is talking about the D1 going to the D2 block. Okay, and the water is from D2 going to the D3 block, so you can say it ends at D3. Yeah, so kind of like that. And if you do the div, you can check up which block have issue. So if you're checking yourself, even the house, this can show up on the first round when you go around the palaces. So it's the same way of interpreting as like what kind of yi it is. And it just depends on while the gods are talking to you, what they mean. So when you have this knowledge in mind, they can use that to tell you, okay, this is your problem today. Okay, so let's see. Moving back. Oh, before we move back, anyone want to check in? Check in. Team net number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. This seems like a pretty sound system in order to get a better reading for our health condition, both internally and externally. My next question is, do we check on the readings that we receive? So now that we have identified that it's a combination of kidney and lung, and we know to stop doing the things that are damaging to the kidney and reinforce the lung, in order to make sure that we're not getting false readings, I guess, would this also be a place where we can utilize our div to check up on that? Or is that not recommended because of the changing nature of the system? Sometimes sometimes it may be stressed, and then after you stop doing it, but then maybe something else might kick off, or it might even worsen for a minute. Would this be something that we div about, or is that just something that we just let run the course on? Tango 4 Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Well, first of all, being the one that is diving and reading, your knowledge cannot be shitty. If you are very shitty and shaky with your knowledge, your God is also the same. So when you div about yourself, you're sending your God to check up on you. You're talking about the opinion, like, oh, what do you feel about me, right? And the God is like, oh, I feel today your heart is kind of weak. Your God, your liver is having some issue, right? That's his opinion on you. Okay, so you can take a look at why. Okay, your heart is weak, your liver is weak. So, okay, why? So the liver is about the D3 to D4, right? So you look at it and then it's okay. So it's like saying that my ideas to thinking is bad, is weak, and my confidence is weak. So right? Isn't that the case with me today? I kind of reflect on myself. Oh yeah, no. So I'm gonna today I'm gonna pay more attention to my my ideas and brainstorming and that kind of thing. Like it's just like that, right? You're talking, if you're talking about these organs as in the faces, then you don't always need to refer to like food and diet and stuff like that, because sometimes it's not related to food at all. Like if I want to tell you, I'm the God, okay? I want to tell you that your ghost altar, is having issue today. I can show you that you have yi in the lung or the kidney, right? So the lung is the D2 converting to the negative chi. I say that part have issue. Your ghost altar is being attacked, right? Your lung have issue, right? It doesn't mean that you need to be coughing, because the ghost altar having issue or more issue than usual doesn't always translate to like, oh, you have trouble like breathing today. It doesn't always, right? We're talking about the ghost altar. What does it do? Ghost altar, right? That's your mental power, your like what we call the thinking power, the processor, right? So that part being affected. There's so many ways to be affected. For example, there's like this ex-mule going to you, right? His ghost is visiting your ghost altar. That can happen. And that will show up as a lung problem. It doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I need to like eat more of this food or whatever. You need to go kill the ghost. Right? Like people are so stuck when we talk about medicine. You're so stuck about like food, eating, that kind of stuff. It's not. You're not getting the essence. The organs are the 5 different kind of storages, but the actual thing is talking about your Yunsan goes older and all that. Food and exercise is only one of the many ways to talk to them. There's so many other ways. So yeah. Tia number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Tina number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I understand when you're saying that it's not always the food that is influencing the what you call it, the organs, or there was something that you did mention in one of the what you call it, on Zelo. You said, the watermelon is calling you chi. When will be the or who is suitable to consume watermelon, and when do I, like, for example, when do I decide whether to consume that watermelon, like in which state of my, like, for example, how do I determine whether now my chi need to cool down, I need to consume the watermelon? How will I identify something like that in my body? Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
If you eat food like that, your life is going to be horrible. Always have to, like, oh, can I eat this? Can I eat that? You know, it will be very horrible. One of the hurdle everyone have is they try to make this like a guidebook and then follow by the rule. Oh, by the rule, I cannot eat this. Not really like that. Okay, I can tell you, but things can change because you just need to know more. Okay, so first of all, any food have flavor. So the number one thing is you have to know what flavor it has. The flavor of the food is like telling you which department, which organ it will talk to. Okay, and then the chi is determined by the way the food is being prepared. Like it's mixed, it's with water, it's steam, it's fry, right? The way of cooking adds property to the chi, which means, okay, you're talking to the spleen. Okay, what are you going to do to it, right? What you will do to the spleen is according to the chi property. Okay, so there are actually 3 essentials. One is the flavor, which connects you to what organs. 2 is the chi, which means your thing go in that organ. What is it going to do to it? What are you teaching that organ to do? And number 3 is the light, which is the color of it. And the color of it teaches the next organ what. So how will it affect the next organ, right? So to be simple, when you eat watermelon, it's sweet, obviously, right? So a sweet watermelon goes to the spleen. So what are you doing with the spleen? If I want to make it very simple, okay, your watermelon has a cooling effect, lots of juice, right? It's very negative. So it goes in there into the spleen and introduce the cooling effect. The hot fire is supposed to give birth to the spleen's chi. If you kill off the fire from the hot, there's like a point where like you cannot get cooler, or else the spleen stop working. The spleen is like an engine. If it's too to a certain point, it stop working. And when it stopped working, what happened? Well, whatever connected to the spleen will have issue, and they will have the chi stuck, so you have stomach pain. So not just watermelon, even eating like sushi, things like that, you know, cold raw things will have that effect as well. Okay, moving on. Tier number 2, tier number 4, Sierra Hotel Golf. Okay, tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Apologies for the MIA, Sajuan. Just had a situation I had to deal with. But yes, I will go back. I'm pretty sure you answered my question about how we could use the divine div to see what is the issue with our organs, and I'll definitely go back over that. And I'm really excited to find out more about that. And I'm just so excited about the celestial medic stuff because it gives us such a much more deeper insight on our local, our celestial organs. It's a really detailed but what is the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, when you go to the doctor, they give you a physical, and some of those things are very evasive. This year, you could just know what's going on, you know, with your God, and that's why it feels so great to have the relationships with the God because they're assisting us with this, you know, and they're not going to make a mistake or give you a false diagnosis. It's really amazing, and I'm really grateful for it. And I'm definitely going to finish off the book by today. I'm really eager to see what else is going to be added because I feel like right now the sky is the limit in terms of the information that you're giving us right now, and I'm excited to see the creative applications of it, like what magical tools we can probably find and use to not only make the div or the diagnosis. That is what I'm looking for, the diagnosis, not just faster but more fun. Because I really like using the tools and incorporating the tools because they just have a really nice fun vibe about it. Besides making it short and it's a shortcut, it's just really cool. This is Tenny at number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
I have to say the book is just like a reference 101. There's so much more when we talk here and give out live examples. Now, you guys are so into the food, but you know what? You can also intake a lot of like things that influence your organ, like without consuming the food. Oh, for example, okay, your spleen relates to anything physical. So the D8, the whole body relates to the spleen, and in the body map, your belly area is related to that D6, right? So when you're sleeping and you have like, you know, maybe cold air, AC, or outside wind blowing, and it keep blowing that wind into your belly area. And then the coldness from outside just slipped in, and your own spleen will try to repel it. But if your own spleen is kind of getting too much, it cannot repel anymore. Or maybe you, you know, just pull away your blanket and your clothing and everything is showing the skin already, right? So the coldness got in the belly area, the spleen. Now it penetrated through that part. And what does it do? It's kind of like watermelon. So it cools down your spleen, which is the hot fire, right? And what happened? Well, you wake up, you try to poop, you have stomach ache. Or maybe the cold chi in the spleen will make you like sick. You know, you wake up and you have a cold, and suddenly the whole body is feeling very cold because the spleen is responsible for the whole body, right? Now, what if the spleen cold chi like kind of conquer that part? Like it totally KO your spleen, right? Because spleen is down, and then the chi move up. It moved to the gold department, which is the next one, right? It goes to your lung. Oh, that's another issue, right? So your lung has the cold chi, you start coughing. So there's like so many ways that you can have the cold chi or the hot chi without even consuming the food. The chi can come from your surrounding. You try to go sauna, right? Like hot, steaming hot room, and you put yourself inside there. Well, yeah, that's a lot of humidity, lots of wood dampness and heat, right? What is it going to do to you inside that environment? So many things people do can affect the chi inside. And let's move the mic to vignette number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. This is a little bit off of the topic, but I wondered what the significance of checking the pulse and the wrist and the heart, different conditions, like it's thready, it's weak, it's pounding, it's leaping. What is the significance of that? I mean, maybe we're not at that point yet. I imagine that takes a lot of skill and that enough exposure and being able to do that. How important is that, or is that not important to assess the body from that aspect? And I'm wondering about conditions that have already manifested, like things like hormonal imbalances, people who have who are elderly, maybe, or they may have had interruptions or surgeries or missing kidneys or missing limbs or things like this. Are those of any significance when diagnosing oneself or others? Back to you, Tanya. Number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. If I don't get a chance to talk to everybody else.
Oh, I kind of missed the first step. Like, you said diagnose the what? I don't get that part.
The heartbeat, the wrist. When you're holding, if you're assessing the person's heartbeat to see how it feels in the blood and what, not the, no, maybe it's not, maybe I'm not saying it correctly. But basically the heartbeat feels in the vein like it's leaping or it's thready or it's weak. How important is that assessment?
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay. That's called Bamak. You're measuring, making contact with the meridian and trying to see the flow in and out the heart. Okay. So that I repeat again, the hands, the arms are channels in and out the heart. So you're measuring, it's kind of like saying, so how is it going with the heart? Like what's coming in, what's going out, and you kind of can see the condition. It's more of like one of the many methods only. It's not like you must have that to know what's going on. Actually, for even the doctors, they don't need that to tell what's your problem. You know, like mostly you just listen to the person saying what happened to them, and you kind of look at the like what happened before you get sick, and usually it's very obvious already. So you don't really need to do that to know what's going on. That is like one of the many ways, and it's actually a way of div as well. Like you're diving, right? You're putting your own hands on the other person to feel, to div about their condition. And it's not about your heartbeat. It's not about the physical veins and the blood. And no, it's not. Okay. So yeah, it that's another lesson. Okay. That's more detailed to be talked about later. But yeah, that's only one of the many ways. And I will have to say, like, if you rely on that one and think that is about the heartbeat and all that, your skills already failed. Because it's kind of like, oh, you cough, your lung have issue, right? It's like you're so stupid. You have to see the end result, and then you see, oh yeah, your lung have issue. But think about it, your lung can have issue way before that. The lung have issue meaning like your Yun San to the ghost altar is not doing well. That is the lung issue. So yeah, it doesn't have anything in the post heaven body for you to check at all. You know, if you have to check on anything in the post heaven, that's already like a much later ending phase. Like it's like the war is over. It's almost done. You know, you almost die already. Like let's say someone is having mental stress depression and all that stuff, right? Hey, if you look at a guy and he is having lots of depression and mental problem, you see, they are having all that yeep in the ghost altar, because we know the ghost altar is responsible for the yum hay, right? So it's like your mental power. You have all the yeep in here. What happened? Well, your lung, right, is not going to do well. There's toxin in the lung. That's the ghost altar, 1 to 2, right? And also your kidney is going to have issue because the lung don't have stuff to give for the kidney, right? The kidney is having deficiency. Like, just looking at that problem, you already know. So you got to focus more on like what we said at the very early stage, the neutral soul, the positive soul, the negative soul, the 3 soul. What are they for? And you look at yourself and you see, am I lacking this or that? You diagnose the 3 soul, you can break it back up and see which organ is having issue. It's very simple, right? So don't be so obsessed with like the packaging of TCM and think that, oh, what do they mean with that? It's not the actual problem. The actual problem is you look at your 3 soul and you can pretty much tell. Like today, I feel very sluggish. Okay, it's not doing well. Today, I'm like blurry in the mind. Okay, negative soul not doing well. I cannot focus. Neutral soul not doing well. Right? If you cannot focus, neutral soul have issue. The heart is of course weak. Isn't that simple? Right? Look back at the 3 soul. Don't be overcomplicating yourself and then think like, oh yeah, we need to understand what the TCM doctors are doing because we sound like them. No, you're not. You're overcomplicating it. Go back to the 3 souls and understand what they are. Look into your life. What are you lacking power in? It's actually much simpler than it is. Okay. It is now 2:04 p.m. We'll end the net here. 73 to all. We'll see you on Net B or back online. This is T19. My Yi is clear.
TY4HAA clear.